Hello and welcome back to my channel. For anyone who's got a good memory, which I don't have, and for anybody who can remember what I said my weight was last week, you'll see that this week I lost 4.5 pounds. I'm still quite blown away by that. I didn't expect that loss, and I always say I get the loss I deserve. I don't think I deserve that loss. I had a good week on plan. I've really enjoyed my food this week and I've eaten plenty this week. But on Thursday evening, when I was lucky enough to have an opportunity to go to the home of a local journalist for a chat about my history and my experience of Slimming World, I actually didn't have my dinner before I went because I went in the early evening. By the time I got home and it was after 9, then I had my dinner, and it was barely an hour before I went to bed, which is a mistake for me because I generally have an eating window between 8 AM and 6 PM. Consequently, because I had a late meal, I had a dreadful night's sleep. I had fresh tuna and vegetables, and I don't think I gave my body anywhere near enough time to digest it before I laid down and went to sleep on it. And for the whole of the night I was tossing and turning because it reminded me just how I used to feel when I overate. Although I hadn't overeaten, I just hadn't digested my food. I laid there all night thinking, oh my God, this is just how I used to feel all of the time, uncomfortable in my own body. And then subsequently I got up on Friday morning, and a bit of a hectic morning because the people were coming to lay the kitchen flooring, and I just did not want my breakfast. I just had no appetite. I still felt full of food. I did eat my overnight Weetabix and my fruit because I will not skip meals and call it staying on plan. I just won't do it anymore. But I did forego my eggs yesterday morning, and for the whole of the day I just had no appetite. And although I did eat, I ate free food, I ate my 2 healthy extra A's, my 2 healthy extra B's, and I had 10 Sims. I didn't eat as I would normally eat, which was lots of speed food. Now, when I was explaining to Joe after group how much I'd lost, he initially said, well, you didn't eat as much bulk-wise as you would have ate normally yesterday. However, I don't believe that the way I ate yesterday would have ever resulted in a 4.5 pound weight loss. And we have actually dropped our walking again this week. We only walked 37.61 miles, as opposed to a fortnight ago when we were averaging over 55 miles a week. So all in all, what's done it? What's made me lose weight this week? I genuinely don't know. The only difference I've made to my bang on plan eating is fish. I've eaten more fish this week than I would generally eat. I tend to do this diet, or this food plan, mostly as a vegetarian, with the occasional meat, with the occasional seafood. This week I've eaten fish, and Joe persuaded me to try fresh salmon. I didn't think I'd like it. I've always avoided it like the plague. Because I don't like tinned salmon, I didn't think I'd like fresh salmon, and I love it. So that's another string to my bow. I've also had fresh tuna again this week, which, albeit I didn't digest very well because I laid down in bed on it, I would definitely have again because I enjoy it. And I've had cod roe this week, which, if you have it out of a tin the way I did, is 4.5 Sims. If you fry it in a teaspoon of coconut oil like I did, it's 6.5 Sims. But it was absolutely delicious. And it took me back to the way I used to eat it with my dad and the way I used to eat it with my granddad, and I really enjoyed it. Within the next couple of days, Joe will put up a little video showing some of the meals I've eaten this week, because he has taken a few photographs of my evening meals. What else have I done this week that could have changed it? Absolutely nothing. I haven't upped my fluids. I haven't done anything out of what is for me the norm. So I guess it's just one of those things that your body can do to you. I obviously got the weight loss balance a bit too precise over and above the maintenance balance. But hey ho, I'll take that. And it got me my shiny green 4 stone award, which has me way out of the bottom of my target. The bottom of my target is 9 stone 11, and today I was 9 stone 6.5, which again is a weight I haven't been at since I was at primary school. I could easily move my target to 9.5 stone. I actually qualify for that today because I'm half a stone under my actual 10 stone target, but I don't intend to do that because I don't want to be this low. For a couple of reasons. A, because I've still got that thing in my head about where would I ever stop if I still focus on losing weight. You know, I could lose another stone easily. Could lose another stone. I've still got enough wobbly bits that need to disappear, but I don't think I need to lose another stone. And also, you know, I've got a wardrobe full of clothes that I really like, and stuff that I bought even 3 or 6 months ago. Some of it is getting quite loose on me, even though it's only some of it's only a size 12. It's funny, I was just thinking, you know, when I got back from group I was going to go and get changed, and I thought, you know, I think I better go and buy some new bras this week because I've got room to keep my purse in one side and my phone in the other, which is not a beautiful look, is it? But joking apart, you know, I always said my boobs would be the last thing to go, and they're actually starting to change. So, yeah, may have to invest in some new bras at Bravissimo this week.
Where do you intend to go?
Well, I just got a couple of things I want to mention, and then I'll talk about where I intend to go. First thing I did at group this morning was buy some of the new hi-fi bars, and they are really nice. That's my genuine feedback on them. But I did something really silly. I ate 2 of them on an empty stomach. I'd had a cup of coffee. I don't have sugar in my coffee, but I ate 2 of them on an empty stomach, and I have been totally wired since I finished the second one. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours probably since I ate them, and my heart is still pounding, and my head is throbbing, and my whole body feels like that. Now maybe this is because I ate them on an empty stomach. I've never ever started the day on hi-fi bars before, and I don't think I'll do it again. It was too much of a sweet fix for me first thing in the morning, and I don't like having this kind of a headache, and I can genuinely feel my heart racing. I feel like I'm on a high. So, albeit that I eat hi-fi bars in the day, generally early afternoon, I don't think it's the best thing for me to eat them first thing in the morning. And like Joe says to me, you know, there's a list of at least 20 ingredients in those bars. It's like a shopping list. So maybe it's not the best thing for me to start my day on, because when you're coming out of a fast because you've been asleep all night, your body will react to the first thing you eat in quite a sensitive way. So I think I've learned a valuable lesson there this morning. Not telling anybody else don't do that, I'm just saying it didn't work for me. Although the bars are nicer than the 6-sin version. You can certainly taste the caramel in them better, and you can certainly taste the salt in them, which I didn't think you could in the first ones. There's a new hi-fi bar coming out in March for anybody who hasn't already heard, and I think it's going to be called a Choco Mocha. So it's chocolate and coffee. And it is the first one that Slimming World have done that is suitable for vegetarians because it doesn't have the gelatin in, and it's also gluten-free, which I think is a first. Yeah, quite looking forward to that one because I like coffee flavoured things. So that'll be something different. What else? Yeah, Muller Light Greek yogurt, the big tubs that quite a few of us have been quite passionate about at 1.5 sins. There's a lemon, there's a coffee, and I think there's a vanilla. I've only had the coffee and I've had the lemon. If you look at the original tubs for these, at the top of the label there was, or on the top, there was a little heart and it said 90 calories. There's a new version out, which I think is what's taking over from the old one. And on the label it says no added sugar, 60 calories. These are sin-free. You may have already been told this at group. For those people who don't go to group, these are, I think, worth a try. And another yoghurt that I've had this week and thoroughly enjoyed, and I think it was Julie who recommended them, is the small Skyer fruit yoghurts from Aldi, which are about the same size as a Muller Light. There are 4 flavours. There's strawberry at 1 sin, cherry at 1.5, blueberry at 1.5, and passion fruit at 1.5 sins. And I think they are delicious. Beat all the sin-free yoghurts in my opinion. And I'm somebody who wouldn't usually go for a fruit yoghurt. But these I really liked, and I think they make an acceptable dessert. They're good enough to call a dessert. So if you get an opportunity to try those, I would recommend them. I can't remember the price, but they weren't expensive and they're really good. Little thing that Naomi said for a laughing group this morning, it's Chinese New Year tonight. If you want a Chinese takeaway, be careful. Look in the back of your book and find a good sin one. If you want a Chinese fakeaway, if you're prepared to cook it in the kitchen, persuade your husband to take it out the back door and ring the front doorbell. You can kid yourself it's a takeaway. Save yourself a lot of sins. I think that's what they're planning to do for a laugh. So, just need to look at where do I go from next week. I'm not going to waffle on too much today because I actually put a video up yesterday. I don't want you to get sick of me.
Sorry, did you talk about the mocha bars?
Yeah, I've mentioned
Oh,
mocha
sorry.
bars. Yeah, I don't want you to get sick of me. Where I'm going next week, I'm going to stick to my 2A choices and my 2B choices. I'm going to up my sins to 15, but choose to have them from what would be for me healthy treats. I'm going to call them treats because I'm talking about avocados, nuts and seeds, and they are for me healthy treats because I love them. I will still have my sushi, which I really enjoy. Yeah, my free food, my speed food, and look forward to a healthy week on plan. I do intend to try and gain some weight next week. I do not intend to try and gain 4.5 pounds. I think Joe was a bit concerned that I'd see this as a good excuse to jump off plan and eat cake and biscuits and crisps and junk, what I call junk, what for me is junk. No, I love the way I eat now too much to forego that. So to make the difference and to hopefully gain some weight, I'm going to up my sins to 15. And I haven't had 15 sins for the whole of the time I've been maintaining. So let's see if it makes a difference. I'm just going to mention Porky Light sausages. Joe will be annoyed by this because in group this morning, everybody's going mad for Porky Light sausages. Nobody can get hold of them. But one or two girls were having a good giggle about it because they've managed to get them, and they've got a tame lady in Asda who they ring up and she puts them aside, but they made the mistake of mentioning her name. So I think there were over 100 people in group this morning. That lady could be getting a lot of phone calls, and I doubt she'd be able to put that many aside and be fair to everybody. But what's the fascination? They're just sausages. They're just half-sin sausages. There's quite a lot of half-sin sausages around. But I think the thing that perturbed me, and I'm not a sausage fan, if I'm going to have sausage, I actually like Linda McCartney, rosemary and red onion. I've never tried Porky Light, and I might at some point. But I think the thing that perturbed me in group this morning and struck a chord with me was the number of people that were like, hee, half a sin each, we can eat all 6. Now for me today, because portion size matters to me, it's what's keeping me where I am. I'm a bit like, well, the lady next to me who was at Target looked at me and she said, would you eat 6 sausages? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. For me, today, that's greedy. 2, maybe 3 if it was my main meal. But I don't eat 2 cooked dinners a day. I only have 1 cooked dinner a day. So if I was having them with my lunch, I'd have 2. If I was having them with my dinner, I might have 3. But 6 sausages, let me pose that question. Do you think 6 sausages is a bit greedy? Because for me, looking at portion size and weight loss, just because they're half a sin each, you know, if you found a sin-free sausage like Slimming World one, would you eat 6? I couldn't eat more than 2 of theirs. But yeah, it's just a thought. Who does anybody else agree with me? 6 sausages is unnecessary, or you know, I respect your opinion. Do you think 6 sausages is normal? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just odd. I know Joe would never eat 6 sausages because he don't like sausages. But yeah, quick talk about weight and height charts. We looked on the NHS recommendations for my height and weight. I'm currently 132.5 pounds, which is 9 stone 6.5. I started at 308 pounds, so that actually blows my mind a bit. According to the NHS statistics, about 7 stone 3 to 9 stone 11 is average for somebody of my height, 5'2". And I was 9 stone 11 last week, and I must admit, at 9 stone 11 I felt great. I still feel great today. but I'm aware 9 stone 6.5. I don't need to be this low. So I'm going to give my head a wobble, a good wobble. I'm still quite shocked that I am this weight. I did not expect that. But I'm going to ride with it. I'm going to do what I need to do this week and hopefully get a gain next week. But in all sincerity, I'm loving this plan. Absolutely loving this plan. Could have been 4.5 pounds on and then I might have had a very different face. Just share with you, there was a lady in my group this morning, because I just shared about eating fish and thoroughly enjoying fish. There was a lady in my group this morning who had a maintain last week and was a bit disappointed. She'd stuck to plan all week, but she'd had 15 sins every day, and she was going on holiday that day. And she said, I wanted a couple of pounds off before I went on holiday. She came back today, because she came back from holiday early this morning. She's back at group with a £4.5 loss. And Naomi said, I thought you were going on holiday. She said, I did. I went on holiday to a hotel that was full board, so bed, breakfast, evening meal and lunch. And I did my best to stick to plan, walked plenty because we were on holiday. And the only thing I did differently to what I would do at home is I chose a fish meal every night instead of choosing meat. So she'd been on holiday to a full board, fully inclusive, full board hotel. Came back with a £4.5 loss. The only thing she put that down to was eating fish. Now, again, I'm not saying everybody run out and buy fish this week, but what I am saying is it seems to have made a difference to me, certainly made a difference to her. Might not make a difference for you, you might not even like fish, but just a thought to share. I'm going to go, I'm waffling, my head's spinning, my head's throbbing, my heart's racing. I'm going to go and have something to eat. And thank you for everybody who watched my conversation with the journalist. And can I just say it was an absolute pleasure to do it. I had a lovely evening with Elizabeth and her husband Philip. And I might look out for a few other opportunities and see if I can add other interesting bits and bobs to my channel. But look out in the next couple of days. Joe will put up a video if you're interested to watch it for some of the main meals I've been having. Have a good week, everybody. Stick to plan. And remember, it works if you work it. It won't if you don't. Cheers.